What's good YouTube, it's Adam from I'm a Music Mole. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're gonna go ahead and remake from scratch Taylor Swift's The Fate of Ophelia. The tempo for this one is 124 beats per minute, and the track is produced by Taylor Swift, Martin Shellback. This track features 3 different sections, call it A, B, and C. So let's start off with that A section. Let's go ahead and start off with that piano. We're gonna bring in Logic Studio piano. We're gonna start off with the Studio Grand over here. We're just gonna turn on stereo mic B and the mono mic as well. Let's go ahead and draw on that pattern and then add in some effects. All right, and then we'll just copy down this. This last note we're gonna pull up. Top note there. And for the 5th bar, we're just gonna repeat this pattern over here. And we're just gonna carry up this here. So we're gonna go from the E to the G here. And then we're gonna continue going up at the end. And we'll copy over this. Same rhythmic pattern here. Sorry, this I want to push up 1 here. 2. All right, so right there is the main piano for section A. Next, let's add some effects and get it sounding like the one from the original track. The first thing we're gonna do is gonna open up an EQ and just get it to get the sound a little bit more muffled, a little bit darker sounding. And then we'll just put this piano into a space. For that, we'll use Logic's Quantic Room Simulator Reverb. I'm gonna use the default preset that loads up. It's just a nice clean reverb to put into a nice like room, if you will. All right, next up, let's go ahead and get to the drums. So for that, we'll create a new software instrument track. We'll go over to our library browser. We'll bring in the Fate of Ophelia drum kit. Just gonna find it right here. Here it is over here. And we're just gonna bring in the hi-hat. It's just gonna go something like this, just like a 2-step pattern. We're gonna change this over to an 1/8. Just hit this, it's gonna automatically step in those notes. Stretch this out, stretch the pattern out to 5 bars in length. Now just to add some movement to those hi-hats, give it more of like a realistic sound, we're gonna hit our velocity value over here. On every odd one, we're just gonna turn down the velocity a little bit. So it's gonna kind of go up and down in volume a little bit. So it kind of gives you like a nice little ride there. And then we just gotta put in a few little hits here and there. So for the kick over here, we're just gonna create a MIDI region. And just on the 1, we're gonna put in a hit. So I'm just gonna find the root note here. Right? Just like that for the kick. Something simple. And then right at the end of the pattern, we get an open hat. It's gonna be on the 1. And we're just gonna move this over. It happens right there before the next section. So that's it for section A. Next, let's get to section B. For section B, we'll start off with the piano. We're gonna create a new piano sound over here because it's in the background. It's a little bit more plucky. It's not as sustained out, if you will. So for that, we'll bring in Logic's Legacy. Go to Legacy Pianos. We'll bring in the Steinway Grand Piano because within the sampler plugin, I could sort of adjust and control how long those samples are played out. So see how they ring out? What we're gonna do here is just bring down the decay here. Just kind of want it to be like a little bit of a pluck sound. Now for the EQ, we're going to adjust that as well. What I'm going to do here, actually, just going to take out all of these plugins. I'm going to hit X on my keyboard, and I'm just going to copy over the same EQ and the same reverb. I'm doing that by holding down the Option key, clicking and dragging the plugin. So for the EQ, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker because it is sort of more in the background, if you will. I'm just going to cut a little bit more of that top end out. All right, next, at the end of the piano pattern, we're just going to adjust the notes a little bit. So we're going to go from this A down to the D here. And next we're going to go ahead and just add in a little bit of strum to the piano, so like it's not all hitting at the same time. There's sort of like a little movement to the notes, if you will, make it a little bit more realistic. I should have done it to the first piano over here, but I'll do that in a moment. I'm just going to select all these notes. We are quantized right now to an eighth. I'm going to go ahead and just add in some cube flam. You'll see as I push that up, it's going to push the notes like that, just to give it more of a realistic feel, because when you play it naturally, you're not hitting the notes always at the exact same time. So we're just going to pull that up ever so slightly. All right, so that's it for the piano. Next, that bass. And for that sound, we're going to bring in Logic's Retro Synth. Anytime you want to get that classic analog sort of synth sound, pull up Retro Synth. It can get you to that sound pretty close. I'm going to start off with the preset here found under Synth Bass. It's going to be the classic analog bass preset. We'll come back to some sound design. Let's just get in that pattern. So it's going to follow the same pattern as the piano. I'm just going to make this a little longer. All right, let's copy this over. Once again, this goes up. All right, there's the pattern right there. Next, let's get to the sound design. So to kick things off on the filter, we're gonna go ahead and just take out all of the resonance. And we're gonna pull this back to pretty much 0. Let's make that a little louder. All right, so we're almost there. Next, let's go ahead and adjust the sound to make it sound more of like an analog bass, like it's coming from an analog synth. We're gonna hit settings right over here. We're gonna select our polyphony over to mono. We're gonna detune the sound quite a bit here. Now there was not much of a stereo spread to the sound, so it wasn't really of a wide bass, it was more of like a narrow bass. So we're gonna pull down the stereo spread to 0. And for the unison, we're just going to pull that up one more time to 4 voices. You see really that analog sound. And then just to wrap things up, we're just going to put it into a space. We'll go Control Command P, and we'll bring in Logic's Chroma Reverb. We'll use the default setting that loads up. All right, now let's get to the drums. So let's start off with the snare here. We're actually going to copy over the hi-hat, same hi-hat pattern. We'll bring in a kick, or sorry, a snare pattern on the 2s and 4s. And next up, let's bring in the kick. And then next up, we'll put in that drum break that happens at the end of the pattern. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to brush in that pattern. So I'm going to put a snare right over here. And then there's going to be like a little roll right over here. So let's go change our quantized value to a triplet. We'll go to the 8th triplet. No, I want a 16th triplet. Except for these rolls over here, there's 1, 2, 3. We're gonna just drag it up just to give it a little bit more realistic sound. This one's gonna be lower. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and put in a kick just to round out that break. So that kick is the same kick as this one, except we're just gonna place it into the appropriate position. And it just happens right over here. Make the velocity a little harder. Take that one out. And then before we leave section B, we got to make sure we get in our guitar pattern. It's really quiet, it's in the background, but it's there, it gives us some rhythm. So for that, I know we always like to use stock Logic plugins, but for this one, I'm going to reach out to a Contact sample library. It's going to be Strummed Acoustic 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring that in here. Let's find the Strummed Acoustic 2. Here it is right over here. And what we're going to do here is just find the guitar, find the pattern, and then draw in the pattern. So for this sound, we're going to go ahead and instead of searching for it, I'm just going to search for it right over here. We're going to bring in it's the pattern number 74. All right, so we're going to bring that one in here. And for the sound preset, we're going to go ahead and select the wide open doubling. Next, let's go ahead and copy over the pattern, and we'll get to hear how that guitar actually sounds. So we're actually going to copy down the same piano pattern. All right, it's going to sound like this. Gives you that realistic guitar playing. So the only thing I'm going to do here is just adjust the notes a little bit. So I don't want them to like play out. I kind of want to stop right before the next one. So that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to make these notes a little shorter. All right, so that's going to happen in the background, so we're going to really push it back. So that's section B, and then there's sort of like a B-1 pattern in there. It doesn't really need a whole new section, but it's sort of a similar section. I'll show you what I mean. So it goes from like these 5-bar length patterns, and then it switches over to a 4-bar length pattern. So what we're gonna do is just copy this over here, and all we're gonna do is take out, like if you see right here visually, we're gonna take out this last section. So that we're just gonna pull that back out, and we just get a 4-bar pattern here. All right, so everything's going to get pushed back. Just take that out. Take that, and this gets pushed back as well. We just get like a 4-bar pattern. So just a minor adjustment to pattern B. Next, let's go over to section C. Now section C, we use a lot of the similar sounds, except we get in some new patterns, new progressions. So this is for like the big part of the track, the chorus. So what I'm going to do here to start things off, I'm going to go ahead and just copy over the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare. All right, the bass pattern is going to switch up, so let's go ahead and draw that in. To start off, we're just going to copy over this bass over here. It is the same bass sound. Except it's a different progression. So I'm going to select these notes over here, and I'm just going to bring this down. All right, this middle section is going to go up. This is going to follow it. And this goes back to the C. Except right at the end of the pattern over here, we're kind of have like a little sort of thing that goes up. So we're going to go to the G, to the A. So for the end pattern, it sounds like this. All right, so that is bass number 1. There's another bass that happens underneath it. Now this is the chorus, so it's the big section, so it's really got to sound full and nice. So for this, we're going to create a new software instrument track, And we're going to bring in a Moog bass preset from one of my kits. I'm going to go over to a preset in Toronto Views, the BA Moog bass. I really like this one here. And what we're going to do is just copy over the same pattern. Let's just pitch this down. And what we're going to do here is just take out all these notes. And we're just going to stretch it out. So we're going to go Command A and Shift backslash to force that legato. What I'm going to do here is just adjust the sound. I'm going to pull down the resonance. And I'm just going to cut out a little bit of the top end here. So it's layered with this. Now for this bass, just to make sure that it's not clashing with it, I'm just going to take out some of the bottom end here. So you can already hear the chorus building up. And then we get like a whole stack of sounds here to really fill out this chorus. So instead of like boring you and showing you each track individually, it's probably gonna take another half an hour just to show you what is done. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video. I'm gonna do all that. I'll mix it, arrange it, and when we come back, we'll take a listen to how it sounds and break down each sound individually. All right, so here we are in the finalized session. This is the chorus that I'm talking about here. So let's go ahead and just take a listen, and then we'll break down each song that we added since the last time we spoke. All right, so let's go ahead and break that down because a lot was added. So first things first, we get a new guitar sound here, a new rhythm section, if you will, for the chorus. It sounds like this. Follows a new chord progression for the chorus. So for this sound, we're using another guitar from Logic's Native Instruments Contact Library called Electric Vintage. I am in the Raga preset with the Raga D Performance, and we're just playing that pattern as you just heard. Just add in a little bit of reverb here to put into a space. And that happens in the background. Once again, we get the same piano from our intro track, same sound, just different set of chords. Those are the chords. So together with the guitar. And then we get that giant stack that I was talking about earlier, and it's all of this right over here. So it follows the same chords as the guitar, as the piano, as everything else, just a different set of sounds. So here is like our main organ sound with a little bit of shimmer in there. For that sound, I'm using Logic's Alchemy with the gently glitching organ preset with the organ 2 performance. Next up, we have this sound over here. Very similar organ sound, but just added another different sort of feel to the sound, just thickened it up a bit. So without it, you kind of miss it. It just adds that atmospheric thing that we need here. For that, I'm using Logic's Alchemy once again. For all these sounds, I'm using Alchemy. We're using the Light Harmonics preset with the Light Airy Pad performance. And then layered with that, we have this right here. Now this is sort of giving us that ambience that we need. Same chord progression. We're using Logic's Alchemy, the Wing Jab preset on the Atmosphere performance. And then layered with that, we have more textures here. Once again, using a preset from Logic's Alchemy, the Halo Tines preset under the Epic Performance. And then next up, we get two more sort of ambient sounds just to fill out this part. So once again, using Logic's Alchemy, the Aether Choir preset under the Choir Performance. And then we have this one right over here. Just gives us a little bit more texture. Using Logic's Alchemy, the Ambient Melody preset on the Animator Performance. Now all these together sound like this. So the choir, our textures, our atmospheres, and our organs. And then halfway through this section, we get like this beautiful bell synthy type of sound. And it's this right here. This one right here. That one really pops out. Now for that sound, I'm using Logic's Alchemy. We're using the Clockwork Ballerina preset on the Nice Performance. And take a listen how this section in particular stands out. Like in the original track, it really just pops out. So here it is all together. Bring on our organ, bring on our guitar and piano, our two basses that we put together, our hi-hat, our snare and kick, our drum break, and then for the drum section, we added in a couple more sounds. So we have, I'm going to solo out the drums. So we've added in a clap to layer the snare for the chorus, just to fill it out a bit. All right, and then we have like a crash with like a white noise on it at the top of the pattern. And then I added in a secondary hi-hat just to sort of counter the other hi-hat, just to give it a little bit more sort of lively feel to it. Just to give it some more drive to this big chorus section. See, without it, it kind of gets you moving there. All right, all together. We have like a drum break right here. That drum break was just sampled directly from the track. And then moving forward, we get a different section B. We just get a new sound here layered with our other stuff that we put together earlier. This pad. For that sound, I'm using Logic's Alchemy. It's the Analog Pulse Pad preset using the high performance. It just happens in the background for this section or the second verse. We'll just fast forward to this section here. We get a new clap just to really emphasize some of the words that Taylor was singing. And then moving forward to sort of the breakdown, if you will, of the track right before the big chorus at the end, we get this new sound here. And that's using another instance of Logic's Alchemy, the Alpha Pad preset, using the high 1 performance. So that right there is Taylor Swift's The Fate of Ophelia, remade in Logic Pro. Next, let's go and take a listen to how everything sounds together. there is Taylor Swift's The Fate of Ophelia remade in Logic Pro. For Logic Pro users out there, I'm gonna go ahead and save this entire session for you, place it as a downloadable link below this video. If you don't use Logic, I got your back as well. I export audio MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. You can find that entire playback down below the like button as well. If you have a question on this or just want to chat or any suggestions for future videos, let's go chat down below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later. Peace.